Alright, so what do we have here? Well, it's in the video title. I don't know why you're shocked. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a rotating clock. And as we can see, as the hour changes, the hour hand moves and the minute hand carries on going round. I still haven't fixed the thing where it changes 2 hours. I guess we'll get to that. But yeah, the apart from it changing 2 hours for every hour. See, the problem with that was I didn't notice it was wrong because I came at what should be 12 o'clock and obviously it said 12 o'clock, but it had gone round twice when it should have gone round once. So that was an issue. All these signs are wrong because the original logic I used was wrong, but oh well. So, there are 24,000 time in Minecraft days, so I can do time set and then a number 1000, 0. If I do 24,000 like this, and if I do 0, they're the same. So that's how time works in Minecraft. There's effectively 24 hours. A Minecraft day is 20 minutes long. And that is 1,200 seconds. And then there are 10 redstone ticks every second. That is 12,000 redstone ticks in a day. And it takes an item. Well, according to the wiki, it takes an item 4 ticks to move between hoppers. So we'd get our like 12,000 redstone ticks on our calculator. We'd divide that by 24 for the amount of hours in the day, because it goes around 12 times, like 1 to 12 twice, so it's 24. And we divide by 12 again because our minute hand on our clock, it moves in 12 positions. So our minute hand should move every 41 points that many redstone ticks, which is not a nice number. But if an item moved every 4 seconds, that means in our clock, it would be 10.5. So one of the things is the pistons in this clock design. So if you look, it's kind of the items switch between the hoppers, and when one hopper empties, the piston turns off, which means the other piston pushes out. Well, the piston pulls the redstone block in really, and then this piston pushes out. So then the items will move into this hopper. So whichever hopper the redstone block is above, the items will move to. So you can see they're moving from this one to this one. It's powered, so they won't move back, but then it empties, so the piston here turns off and it switches. I'll link a video Etho did on his clock, but essentially these pistons take 1.5 redstone ticks to update. So what we have to do is take that away from our number that was how many ticks per minute hand movement and divide that by 4, supposedly, for how often an item moves. Except it's wrong. When you do 10.5, like ticks per item, which essentially means I need 10 items, but then I have to delay one of them by like 2 ticks. So you can delay one side by doing this. I understand I'm rushing probably, but essentially you can do half an item. If an item takes 4 ticks, that's like that. So if we do 2 ticks delay from a repeater, we can keep one side on for longer, which will, you know, it will make the item stay there for a bit longer. So if this number was right from the wiki of 4 item ticks, then that's how that would work. But it was wrong. The clock was moving too fast. But Etho's video, in his original video, he claims that each item you add, if you were only taking one side of this, so it looks like this is permanently stuck out. Yeah, I've created an infinite loop here. Whoops. Okay, there we go. So, in Etho's design, he says that every item, if you're only taking it from one side, so every time it goes there and back, that's like 7 redstone ticks or 0.7 seconds. So if you take it both times, like I am doing, like this, then it's every 3.5 ticks, so half of that, which is 0.35 seconds. So I understand this is a lot of numbers, but essentially that means that an item doesn't add 4 ticks, an item adds 3.5 ticks for some reason. I don't know why, but the timing works. So if we use that logic, we've got 12,000 redstone ticks per Minecraft day. We divide that by 24 hours in the day. We divide that by 12 for the amount of times a minute hand goes round per hour on our clock. Then we take away 1.5 for the pistons, and then we divide by 3.5, which is, according to Etho, how much delay item adds in redstone ticks, and we get 11.5 roughly. So to do that, I put 11 items in here and then added a delay here of 4 ticks. And the reason I did that is it will be 11 items moving to this side and then it will instantly turn off. But then when it moves to this side, it will stay on for another 4 ticks, which is effectively like that's about how long it would take an item to move. So again, an item takes slightly less, but it delays it by about as much as an item would take. So it's kind of like you have 10 items moving one direction. No, sorry, 11 moving one direction and 12 the other direction, which means on average, it's about 11.5. If I set it to the correct time, so this is 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock is like time set 22,000. That's 4 o'clock in the morning, but it's quarter of the way round, so we'll do 2250. And then this actually, this timing with this Etho clock worked out to make it correct. So how I make it change, so the minute hand goes around, is I use this hopper timer here. So we've got this line of hoppers all aiming each other, and then they go in a loop. So the item will go from hopper to hopper. So every time that switches, this redstone turns off for a second, and that will allow the item to move one hopper across. And then the redstone comes back on, which powers this hopper so it won't move out. So that's how I do that, and then it goes all the way back round to the start. And then, again, it will just keep switching. So I just make it switch between 12 of these. So there's 12 hoppers on this design. So if we actually look, so there is water as well. But we have 12 hoppers in a line with redstone powering them. And it will just turn off every time this clock switches to move the minute hand. As you can see, there's a line of comparators. And they all move to the colour that corresponds to that hand on the clock. So the first one is white, and that's the 6 o'clock position here. And then as you can see, it's at kind of the hour hand is at the grey at the moment, which is 8 o'clock, sorry. So we've got like 7 o'clock there. I'll use different colours actually. So that's 7 o'clock, that's 8 o'clock, that's 9, that's 10, that's 11, this is 12 or 0, you know, and then 1 etc goes around in a circle. So like on this clock, this is either saying 22 9 or it's saying quarter to. Sorry, this would be 20 to 10 because it switches when it goes over. So it's either saying it's 20 to 10 or it's quarter to 9, but you can't tell because it's not moving. So the one that's moving faster is the minute hand. So there you go. This has just switched to 10 o'clock. It's wrong because I changed the time, but you know, it's fine. So the water stream here is just to move the item. So if you see on this one, it takes a while to move back to the start. So when it's going through these hoppers, it will take a while. So on this design, I used a dropper going into a water stream, and that's quicker to get it back to the first hopper. So it goes in this hopper and then this hopper underneath this block. So it'll go back to the start quicker. And I can have a repeater where I do on this design because it actually misses a block here on the line. So one of these hoppers is kind of a dummy because I, for some reason, made a block gap. Don't know why, but oh well. There is something I want to use that could improve this clock. So essentially, because this is hoppers, I could add hoppers sort of underneath to pull the item out. So if I have hoppers underneath and power them so they don't take the item out until I want them to, then I can use a reset using a villager. So if it goes to night, the villager will go to sleep and he won't be on this pressure pad. But when it goes to day, at time 0, he'll get up and that will give me power like he's giving to this redstone lamp. So I can use that to detect it going to day, which is like 6 o'clock. Because if time 0 is when they wake up, then we can see time 6,000, so 6 hours in quotes ahead, is midday. So that means time 0 is 6 Minecraft hours before that, which means it would be 6 a.m. in the morning. So we know the villagers get out of bed and get on this pressure plate and power this lamp at 6 in the morning. So what I'm planning to do at some point is building this clock and adding a reset system, so he'll pull the item out of the hoppers wherever it is, and then we'll reset the clock to be 6 a.m. when the villager gets up, because that way, even if you go away from the clock, it doesn't load in the world, so that means it would stop functioning, so when you come back it'll be the wrong time. It will reset itself the next Minecraft day, so that's a cool thing I can do with it, essentially. And I've just realised I forgot to fix the bug where it goes 2 hours forward instead of 1 hour forward still. So the reason that happens is how I detect the hour has changed is some observers. I better not stand there because I might pick up the item, but so yeah, we have this line of observers, but the problem is it goes off when the comparator turns on or off. So if we look, the comparator turns on, and that's the minute hand is at 12 and an hour has passed. But now it's gone too. It's gone off again, now that it's gone away from it, so we need to change that from 2 pulses into 1 pulse. So now it's working and I can show you a time lapse of it.